it's really actually kind of fascinating to take a look back at the history of this technology. I mean, even going back to the late 1800s when hypodermic needles and syringes came about, and then even before some of the modern government systems and organizations came about globally. We have in the 1930s and 1940s, around the time of the major world wars, some of these more prefilled syringe and these early auto injector kits came about, and the need for wartime. You see these really rudimentary, kind of crude looking auto injector systems that soldiers would carry around to kind of carry nerve agents or different things you may need in wartime in World War I and World War II. This really kind of came the need in the mid 50s for mass production of these glass and plastic disposable syringes. And so you may think, okay, 1950s, we are making these mass produced glass disposable syringes, and that's when these mass vaccines came around. Courtney will go over some of the history of the regulations on the next slide, but that's really when we started mass producing. Now, it wasn't until all the way into kind of the mid 2000s and 2010s when we get into really innovations around auto injectors and needle safety. So there's a big gap there, as you can see. And then even further until when we get into on bodies, cell and gene therapy, and then even going into some more novel techniques. So I think it's just really interesting to think about the context of where we came in the 1900s, where we came in the the 1990s, and then in the 2000s, and then where we are today, and then where we might be going in the future, the 2020s, 2030s, 2050s, and beyond. I know Jim's been going into some of these nanotechnologies, and I might kind of turn it over to him to say, where are we going to go in the next century on some of these technologies?
Well, thank you, Carolyn. So, just to continue down the years in advance looking at nanotechnologies, some of the products that we have to put into from a visionary aspect into our insight here is around the next gen. And some of the products that we're thinking about, the industry-wise, from a global perspective, from medical needs, we're talking about blood-brain barrier delivery systems. We're getting into bioprinting. We're getting into smaller type delivery technologies where how do you really look at from a precision medicine aspect? You have the companion diagnostics, but also how do you appropriately target delivery to a cancer cell? Looking at the antibody drug conjugates, but how do you get that type of product to the right area? And it could be through a nanotechnology robotic pill. It could be through a delivery system that actually, when it goes into the body, there's another vehicle from a combination product perspective that really targets that specific area for patients, especially with significant disease states. So a lot of exciting opportunities coming for all of us, especially for some of the unmet medical needs, especially from the life cycle management perspective in years to come.